he kept messaging. Like, I've noticed he messages a lot on different platforms, and I keep having to block him.
Shame.
And it's like, well, stop asking me if I'll eat a live fish. He wants me to eat a live fish, like a goldfish, like, and record it.
Oh, that's
fucking weird. It's.
And that's why I started wearing black, because I look fat as nails. I don't know if you look at the camera and you're like, you know, when you sat there, you're like, oh God, I'm fat as nails. So that's why it's always black.
The problem is I am fat as nails. I was just trying not to look thin. That's why I've got like lines. They're vertical lines, don't they? Like Slimmy or something. And then the black. Is it working, Chris?
Yeah, you were in peach once, weren't you? And I thought skin colour's not the best for
trying
to hide that.
I had shorts and a peach-coloured top on before, and I thought, yeah, I'll just look like I'm sitting here, like, no,
I'm on holiday.
I am on holiday, yeah.
Because you don't look at, we don't look at ourselves as much. Obviously, you'll see yourself more in photographs, but we don't. And sometimes when you look at the camera, it's meant to put pounds on you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or something like that. You think, oh my God, have I got a double chin?
I don't know. You're always looking at photographs of yourself, aren't you?
Must be joking. That's when I lost weight. When I got Facebook is when I lost weight, because I thought I was getting tagged in photos. So that's a bad one, that's a bad one. I thought, you're fat. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not a bad one. You just need to lose weight.
That's why some people tag you in photos on Facebook.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, do you know what I've got to go through just to put my own picture on Facebook? Like the amount of editing and stuff like that. And you're just tagging me willy-nilly. Yeah. And I look absolutely awful. Especially my wife. She'll put them on and she's like, oh no, you look lovely on there. And I think, I really don't.
Your missus only looks at themselves, don't they? Like, you could be having a stroke next to you. Like, no, I think that's really nice.
It looks great of me. That's the most important thing.
yeah, they're not bothered about anyone else.
How hard is that with OnlyFans doing your own photographs? Like, do you have someone that does it for you, or do you just go through them yourself and think, oh, that's a good one, that's a belter?
Yeah, I do it myself. So it's like, I think I did like a shoot on Wednesday, and there was over 1,000 pictures on my phone. So you can imagine how long that took to go through, and I was like, shit. But no, you just have to. OnlyFans is more natural. Like, I think Instagram's more polished. I think Instagram, everyone wants to be perfect, don't they? So OnlyFans it's a bit more leniency. You can look a bit shit, but not very.
Is that because maybe people are actually subscribing to you?
That's it.
They don't need it edited. They're subscribing to you anyways. Yeah.
That's it. And I think like now I've done like YouTube and stuff without any makeup on and that. I'm like, people know what I look like now. I'm like over it. So yeah, OnlyFans is all right. I like that.
People prefer the realism as well, don't they? Like
That's
OnlyFans, they're getting to know you, aren't I think a lot of it with, like say, Instagram these days, you might as well just get a photograph of someone else. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, oh, I like the look of him, I'll just put him on instead of myself. Yeah.
Imagine being single now, catfishing these days, the stuff that goes on. I know lasses who are putting pictures on there and you're like, that isn't the same person. No. Definitely isn't.
You know when they're single because the profile picture goes from like family photograph to like an airbrush, you know, like anything. Oh,
I'm available.
Someone's on Tinder or something. There we go.
That's it, yeah.
But how did you tell your family when you're going on OnlyFans? That's what we always say. Like, I couldn't imagine, like, trying to explain OnlyFans to my mum and dad. You take them a month. Even though one was like was it one of them? Because you'd have to tell them because they know within, like, especially in Wrexham, it's like our little town.
So it's, I finished uni and then I was like, right, I want to do underwear modelling. And I remember being like, right, I'm going to tell them. And I just like asked I basically asked for permission, said, look, this is what I want to do. And they both basically said, as long as I've finished my degree and graduated and that, I can do what I want, basically. Obviously, legal stuff. But they were like, you can do what you want. And then they even said, to be fair, it's not something you can start in like 20 years' time. It's kind of like now or never. So I was like, all right, then I'll give it a go. If it doesn't work, like it doesn't work. And then I was posting pictures on Instagram. Then OnlyFans was still quite new because this was like 4 years ago. And one of my followers was like, oh, just upload them onto OnlyFans. Like, why are you putting all these pictures on Instagram for free? And I was like, no one's gonna pay for it. And then like 6 months later, I made an OnlyFans account, and I've like obviously had to explain to someone, was like, I'm like now selling the pictures. I was like, it's basically Instagram but paid for, because that's what no one really knew what it was at the time, and I was having to re-explain every time. So I like just made one, and people subscribed, and I made money, and I'm still here, still doing it.
It makes sense, really.
It's like a modern thing these days, and it's only the last few years that anyone do it, but it makes more sense than doing it for someone else, isn't it? Than doing a photo shoot for someone else and doing like a day's work where you can. Do you sell the photographs on there, or is it? Do they subscribe and get them all free, or is it?
Yeah, what I do is there's a base fee, so that's my $12 a month, and then if like they want customs or if they want to like you can buy like socks, like your knickers and your bras. If they want to buy
much?
some, like it depends on the socks. Like it's really bad, but
How
like,
much the cost you to actually buy?
yeah,
and then
but I'll
profit?
go to like Primark and get proper cheap ones anyway. So you can sell extra stuff. You can sell like you can do like. Can you swear on this?
Oh, yeah, say what you want, yeah.
You can do like picture ratings. So obviously people can send a picture of things and then you can rate them. So like
Oh,
so they said...
yeah,
they
it took me a second as well. Yeah, I was thinking the face. Oh, right,
Yeah.
Would you just give them like a 1 out of 10? Like, that's cracking, that.
yeah,
That's a
so I do
7
actually
or-
mark it out of 10.
What's
so
the criteria that you use?
it's just like as long as it's presentable, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's good. But like I've seen some like proper mole, like naked mole rat looking things, and then I'm like, oh my god, 4 out of 10. But yeah, so you can do stuff like that. It's kind of like, and like you can do anything like just to make extra money. So you could sell more pictures as well. You could sell like if they want you to like, don't know, do a handstand in a picture, you could sell that for a £5. Like you can charge them for extra stuff. So yeah.
Do you have any locals? Because that's it. Like, if I was from White, I think that would just be weird walking up the street saying, lovely that, loving that. And you'd be like, oh, God, not delivering the milk.
It is literally, like, I'll go, even before now, I was with my sister and I'd gone to Asda and someone had messaged me and was like, I seen you in Asda today. But like, they can be anonymous on it as well, so they don't have to have the name. So you're like, all right, cool, what do you want me to, like, what? Okay, cool. And they're like, oh, what did you get? And you're like, so were you watching me in the shop or what? But yeah, like at some of the matches and stuff as well, like Wales matches.
They're even worse as well if you're in the shop in the queue and they're like, I paid 12 quid for some socks last night. And I expecting them to be delivered this morning. You're swanning round as they're getting your Sunday dinner. Like, come on.
That's it. Like, you know what I mean? Be like, because some people will buy stuff like your bra or whatever and be like, one person wanted it sweaty from the gym, and if you know me, like, I'm not breaking a sweat. Like, I'm not going to the gym breaking a sweat. Fuck that. Like, no, I'm not doing that. So I remember I just like wore it for a day, went to the gym for 10 minutes, and I was like, no.
Just to get the photo.
Yeah. But then I was like, it's just not sweaty. And he was just.
She just was like under the tap or something and just sent it like
soaking, babe.
I don't like opening it like, you know.
It's a bit of an illusion as well, isn't it? Because I watched Channel 4 and it was a woman who was doing the phone lines.
Yeah.
I don't think that's even a thing anymore. But she was just like painting the back porch and she'd go, oh, I'm loving this. Oh, yeah. Oh, listen to that. And she's just banging the thing against that. And you're like, but there's some guy on there believing that, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's a bit that I just find out. Like, we were saying on the way down, there's that much material on there. It's weird now that, like, they must just think, oh, I really like her, and it's following, like, what you're doing and stuff like that. It's as much about you as the pictures, I bet.
That's it. And it's got to the point now where so many people are doing it as well. Like, people are having to compete, like, by offering extra stuff and doing extra stuff, you know, bringing their prices down. And there is, like, a fetish for everything, which is, I didn't know. I went into it all quite naive, like, and people would be like, do you do this? Like, someone messaged me the other day, and I don't know if you can keep this in there, was like, do you do water sports? I was like, and I fucking thought you meant, like, you know, like...
Skiing. Like,
yeah, that's what I was like,
well, that's what I'm thinking, pretty naive.
And I was like, no, don't really like water, to be honest. And then he was like,
I can't swim.
no, and I was like, not into it. And he was just like, no, I mean squirting. And I was like, oh, no, I don't. You know, you're just like, no, don't do that, sorry. But and I've heard of girls like that get asked, like, paid to like act as animals and stuff, like having to bark. I think that's quite popular. Obviously, like the bondage stuff. Yeah, like before now, someone's tipped me. I remember he sent like $50 or something like that, which was like massive, and saying like, I wish you were my sister. And it's just stuff like that, and you're like, oh, I'm not into it.
Sound like they need counselling, they don't need OnlyFans. They should have like a psychologist saying, I'll have a word with it. You've got to, do you have to reply to all of them? So like, or do you just pick and choose which ones you reply to?
I reply like every day to everyone.
That must be take a bit of work though, is it? Because like, like I don't know how many, like I'm assuming it's mainly fellas, is it? And like quite a few texts that isn't going out.
Yeah, because I've had girls before and they've been like, can I have like a rate on a picture? And I'm like, no, sorry, I can't. Like...
Why is that just so...
I just thought, like, I don't want to see another woman's vagina, to be honest. Like, and I'm not going to lie, like, what would you rate it? They're all ugly, so... Like, do you know what I mean? So
That is not aesthetically pleasing. Like that.
give it a 3.
But everyone's on there now. Like I think Katie Price is on there, and Kerry Catone, and so
Oh,
like you're
right.
saying, like there's avenue for everything. But what made us laugh the other day on Twitter? One of these lasses had done like a competition, and they could go with her like a raffle.
Oh, yeah.
Like a raffle for it. But she printed out saying, "Oh, the raffle's happening." She put all the names of the people that had
Oh, my
applied on it.
God.
Like everyone on Twitter was sharing it,
Yeah.
but they're buzzing that their full names just
Yeah,
on there. And
my
you think, oh my
God.
God.
Yeah, it's very, like, I'm quite good. Like, I've always, because obviously I did law in uni, and one of my modules was, like, GDPR. So I've always been like, you know, I'm not going to tell anyone that you subscribed. Like, I'm not going to put, like, your full name on Twitter or anything. So, yeah, I don't know why she did that. What an idiot. Like, why would
That's
you
a
do
jump
that?
from law uni to
Is
OnlyFans,
that what you've done?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I know, like, what brilliant waste of money. But
I was going to say, it's one of the best degrees you can
Yeah.
get. I thought
Something
that
you
would be
could
like...
do still, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
you said earlier, it's maybe doing what you're doing. It's got a certain term. Like,
that's
so-
it. It's kind of like how I was brought up. It was kind of like, do well in school, you know, like you go to uni and then you get a job, and that works for a lot of people. But even in uni, I was like crying all the time. I was like, Mum, I want to drop out. Even in sixth form, I was like, I don't do this, like, don't do it. But I was like, I'll knuckle down, like, work hard, and I'll do it. And even before, I think, like, applying for uni courses, it was just kind of like, even my teachers, like, you go into uni, you need to pick which one, you need to pick a course. And I was like, oh, I don't know. So I picked Liverpool because it was close to home. And I was like, oh, I was studying law in sixth form, and I was like, oh, I quite like law, I'll just do it. Obviously, law's really fucking hard. It's a lot of work and a lot of reading. So, hated that. But, yeah, I did it, and I thought, I've got it now. Like, I've got the debt as well, obviously. But I've got it. If I ever want to go back to it, like, I'll go back to it. But
We get forced, like we always say, like round our end, you're like, oh, you're going to be this, and I hate talking to a 16-year-old, and you're like, oh, what do you want to be? A plumber. That's what I'm doing. You're like, you didn't want to be a plumber. You know that your dad just said, oh, go and be a plumber.
That's it.
Yeah,
Like
what do you
did-
actually want to do?
Yeah.
Not many people do what they want to do, and I think that's why a lot of people get upset or like
Oh, yeah.
have mental health problems, because you're like, I don't think anyone dreamed about being a tiler or so.
No.
You know, I'm not
No.
saying like they're bad
Well,
jobs.
having a
but-
9 to 5, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like you say, everyone's got
Yeah.
to do something, but you don't grow up thinking, I'm going to work in an office from 9 to 5 when I'm
That's it.
40 hours a week. I don't want to do 38, I want to do 40. And I've Saturday and Sunday off. You don't do
No.
that, do you?
It's
We
yeah.
never got pushed for the university. You can do what school.
No,
did
I was
we?
in every special class school, so it was all right. But I got an apprenticeship as a mechanical engineer, and one of my jobs for a week was putting holes in bolts. So
Yeah.
you just put it in, tightened it, put a hole in, pull it out, put another one. Did that for a full week, and I can remember just thinking, I just ended just packing in, you know, and you're just like, I don't care. I'd rather go homeless than
That's
do this for
it,
the rest
yeah.
of my life. Because you know it's bad at work or at uni when you're just watching the clock and you're like, oh, if I go for a cup of tea, that'll put 9 minutes in, and you're
Literally.
just like that, and you're like, it's just a horrible. Like I know people who like on a Sunday night they don't sleep because they don't want to go to work on the Monday. Like, just quit.
It is, it's horrible. I think it's only now that people are more open-minded. Like, it's kind of, I think, like, especially like my mum and dad's like that age kind of thing. So when I say, oh, I work for myself, but I just do like social media and stuff, it's like, oh my God, you don't work 9 to 5? Like, what if you've got a mortgage, and what have you got that? How are you paying your bills? I think everyone's been so structured to be like, you have to have a 9 to 5 job. It has to be full-time, like usually office-based or whatever. And then now it's kind of like, oh, actually, I want to do this, and it's a bit more accepted. Like, if you would have told people, like, 10 years ago that you wanted to do a podcast, people would be like, oh my God, it's a massive risk. Like, why would you do that? And, like, with OnlyFans, it's like, why would you want to do that? But, yeah, I think people are mellowing a bit.
I definitely think with OnlyFans, we were talking about this, weren't we, on the way travelling today, but I reckon it's a generational thing as well. I think it is socially acceptable now.
It's not taboo or anything now, is
That's
it?
it. As a young lad, you can Google, you can go on all these different porn sites and adult sites and whatever else. You see in images, and it's just people for their images, getting money for it, getting paid
That's
for
it.
it. So
Being your
it's
own
a
boss
no-brainer.
as well
It's a
is
no-brainer,
miles
isn't
better,
it,
isn't
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can't be bothered doing anything that day, you don't, do you? And then if a Sunday morning you think, oh, I'll do some photos, or like, but people don't realise with your job, you've got to keep healthy. It's your social media side of things. You've got to film the content. You've got to reply, and that's what people don't see. They'll be like, "Oh, take photos once a month," and then
That's
and
it, yeah.
people won't you'll probably work the same hours, but it's on your terms, and that's the difference and stuff like that. But when you first started it, were you at your mum and dad's house?
Yeah, I still am. Like,
Oh,
I'm
you're still there?
doing
Alright.
it. Yeah, I'm still doing it. It's funny, but like what I'll do now is I tend to like hire somewhere like an apartment or like Airbnb or something, and I'll do a shoot there because my room. Obviously, I'm 25. I've got so much stuff, and I've got stuff ready to move out and like get a house. That my room just feels like this. So like I can't really do any pictures and TikToks and stuff in there. So yeah, I'll tend to hire somewhere instead.
So imagine if your dad walked in. Oh Jesus! Like, you know what I mean? Oh, what's going on here? Like, you know what I mean? Just,
What kind of animal was that you were just about?
Why are
A
you
gecko
barking
or
like a
something
dog?
like that.
I heard barking from the bedroom, so I just.
Literally. But yeah, that's the thing. People are always like, you still live at home? Like, I will. But that's the thing, because of obviously what I do as well. To start, it was a bit of a gamble getting a mortgage because people were like, yeah, but what are you going to put on the application? And I was like, I'll put I'm a glamour model on it. Like, fuck 'em, I'll put it on. And then people were like, no, like, you're not going to get the money for a house. So I was like, all right, okay. So it was 3 years. This is my 3rd year, I think, of like decent accounts. And then I can apply for a mortgage, but I still don't know what I can put as a job title.
I'm the same because I'm self-employed.
Yeah.
They'd go through with like where do you get that money come from? Can
Yeah.
you guarantee next year you're going to get that money?
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm self-employed. Like,
That's
it's not a
it.
wage, and like say if it wasn't for my missus, we wouldn't have got a mortgage. Whereas no matter how much you can make, like millions, they don't look at that. They just go
No.
by like it's not predictable and stuff like that.
Is it a salaried job? Are you
That's
95? And it's daft, isn't it? Well, I get it and I don't get it, yeah, but
Is it different? Like people every month, because it must be hard. Because you'll have people that will drop off. Because I can imagine, like we were saying, just say you're married. If you had a joint bank statement, it's going to be like, so when are you spending £50 a month? Like I can imagine that'll cut them off.
what if they're married?
Yeah, what's it like? Just say they get with
After
someone.
the
they're like,
divorce, they're not allowed to back
Yeah.
on it, yeah.
Have you seen my package that's been delivered today? It's like,
That's what I
it's
do
in there,
get.
it's soaked. Like, I don't know.
No, it is. It's like, I do get my regulars, and I kind of like, it's funny because I speak to them like normal. It's nothing like crude, nothing nasty, whatever. Like, one was trying to set me up with like streaming and stuff before, saying like you should be playing these. Could be one of you guys. No,
or like the computer games.
Yeah,
and
that's
things
it.
like that.
But yeah, because I was like, oh, I fancy trying this, and he was like helping me with that. So it's not like always like dirty, if you get me.
Just
so,
people
like,
wanting to have a
that's
crack
it.
and bit of friendship.
That's what it was like in lockdown. It was a lot of people that just wanted to speak to someone, which was quite sad. It was nice, but it was like, oh, bless them. But then some people will just be like, oh, I just wanted to have a nosy, or like just wanted to see, and then they'll only last like a month on it, and then they drop off. So it is hard having to try and like make up for that money every month, but that's where like stuff like TikTok and Instagram come in.
Maybe do like a January sale or something like that. You've obviously just missed it, but or like a 12-month subscription.
Just every
or
month
something
be like
that,
sale.
Yeah, we've got a big sale on this.
would you be buzzing if Ryan Reynolds signed up?
Oh my god, don't even know what I'd do. Cry for the whole month. Oh my god, Mum, Dad, look.
Could you not offer Ryan Reynolds like a free subscription for a month just to like as
like a boost?
Yeah, just say, oh, Ryan Reynolds has signed up, and what's the other guy?
Rob, yeah, McClellan.
Yeah. Just offer them a free one.
Be like, you can have it for free, and then the people will like comment on it, pictures of their wives, and be like, this is you, and then this is their wives. But why would they want you? Oh, then I'll just be crying.
Be upset and
Yeah.
depressed.
Because people online can be horrible, kind of like,
Oh,
no
yeah.
matter what you're doing, can you? It's just one of them. You're like, really? Is that what you're thinking about that? And you just think, because you get any of that? Because do you get that off women or do you get that off men?
I can get both. It's women are usually like they'll like attack your appearance straight away, and they're like, oh, okay, you know, like what a slag and whatever. And it's just I usually just by now I just ignore it because I think whatever, block it. But like men, well, no, to be fair, everyone goes for your appearance. I think because it's OnlyFans, they're like they know that's what you're trying to sell, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I always get like my weight brought into it. Is this the only talent you've got? And like basically being like, oh, get a real job and stuff like that. And you think, fuck's sake, I'm paying tax. Like HMRC want money off me like every year. Was it twice a year this year? And you're like, but you're telling me to get a real job. Like in my last real job, I worked like I think it was like my contract was 10 hours a month. So I was like, fuck all money.
Yeah.
And I didn't qualify to pay tax. So actually,
You
I
contribute more.
So
aren't you?
that's the thing. So that's what
you
you're
get
like.
the same
Oh,
with what you do.
It's
Yeah.
weird because people
Small
like you
minds.
say, if you're not there Monday to Friday, it's like your parents not trying to explain.
Yeah.
Like over Christmas you don't work. You're like, you should maybe sign on. Like, you can't sign up making money. You're like, are you really though? Are you? Do you want to eat a five? And you're like,
Just because you're not up at 8 every morning. And
I just can't get there. Like, you go around for a coffee, you're like, you're really struggling. Like, into the gym. I just can't get that, like, into them like that. Like, his job's going down the market. And you're like, I don't need a job down the market. People trying to set you up for shit jobs. And
always.
Does it affect, like, having a partner doing this? Because I know you're just doing the OnlyFans, so in the theory, it's just you doing selfies, isn't it, really? But I know some men will be like, I love that, and then when they go with you, like, you're packing that in.
Yeah, like, before now, I've been single, like, most of it, and then, like, last year I was like, you know what, like, I'll start dating, whatever. And, because, like, you'll get it as well, like, if you're self-employed doing all these things, you do have to put a lot of time, like, even scrolling social media and stuff, and then it's like finding the time of being with someone as well. So I was like, right, I'll give it a go. And I don't think that bit was relevant at all, but whatever. I, like, what was it? Last year, started seeing someone, and he was all like, yeah, fine, I can handle it. And then, when you start noticing stuff, it's like, you're doing OnlyFans again, and like, like, people looking at you, and you're wearing that, and you're like, for fuck's sake. Like, so it is quite hard. It's just, I don't know, you have to find someone that's, it's a lot to ask, I know, to ask someone to be okay with it as well. Like, I'm not stupid, but I'd rather someone just said from the off, like, no, I'm not alright.
I was just about to ask, would you just tell them from the off?
Like on Tinder now, like, I haven't got it in my bio, but I've got my Instagram on there, so if they wanted to look at my Instagram, they'll see it. And if they mention it, I'm like, I haven't got it on it because I'm not there to advertise it, but I do OnlyFans.
Yeah,
so
you're
it's
there
like,
for that purpose.
That's it. Because a lot of girls will, probably lads as well, like, advertise their OnlyFans on Tinder, so it is, people do get confused why you're on it.
Considered that men are on OnlyFans. I don't know why.
We've done it.
It's come as a massive,
on, like,
it's come as a massive shock.
I didn't know. Why is there so much demand for men?
There is a lot.
Is that a joke that I'm on it as well?
No, we're just doing it on that sketch thing, but I just mean, like, I've just done it because I thought, like, men wouldn't be on it, but I suppose.
It's massive. Like, the male market on it is huge, so,
Is that for gay men messaging now?
I think it's a bit of everything, because women will subscribe as well. Like,
really?
Honestly, there's some TikTokers, which you wouldn't think it'd come from TikTok, but, like, a lot of male influencers on there have got massive following. Like, me and my mate was discussing this the other day, so you can send money, like, gifts and stuff, like,
well, they have
coins.
gift lists,
stuff like that.
Things like that.
And there's
someone told me.
Yeah. This man, he had, like, I think it was like 700,000 followers, and these women were just sending money, like sending these coins and gifts and stuff. And he had an OnlyFans as well, and I noticed that a lot of them had OnlyFans. And I was thinking, because I always thought, it might be like males, like, not interested, but I think women are as well.
It's just because I always find, like, women could just, like, they could get a partner anywhere, you know what I mean? Like, just say you went out in there and just put, like, just
it's easy to say, but
someone come off and talk, would you?
I think it's true, yeah.
Men it's hard work, isn't it? I'm asked 20 to get one to talk, and, like, whereas women are, I'm not saying it's easy, but
but we all know that, we all know people who have gone out on nights out and somebody's there who's, it's not unfair to say, but they're not good looking, they're not, if they want to get with somebody or they want to pull or something like that, I just think women can. I think it's testosterone. I just think men are different. Simple as that.
Men are worse, aren't they? Like you say, dinner lady could go on a night
whereas,
out.
like,
everyone would be like, she's gorgeous. In a tabard, do you know what I mean? There would still be someone offering to buy her a drink, you know what I mean? That's what we're saying, whereas a big fat man at the bar is getting no attention. Where the other way around, they'd be like, she's got nice ankles. She's got nice ankles.
Which is why you're thinking, surprising that women are then paying subscriptions for people to send them their underpants.
Especially with that much online and that, but I suppose women just, I hate when people say women are as bad as men. I don't buy that argument whatsoever. Like you said, there'll be a few, but I mean, percentage-wise, I think it's... What about Laddo from Wrexham? Has he signed up a bootlegger?
No, bootlegger's got a wife.
Oh, yes, because I've seen that.
Breaks my heart.
Like, I was trying to explain to him what it's like. It's hard to explain to someone. He's just this guy that's class. He's just drunk. That's basically it, isn't it?
I've just had a little look.
Putting videos on. He's just like, the cult to sell the captain, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's just like, Friday afternoon captain. You're like, I don't know why I love this so much, but how popular is he on, like, Twitter and stuff like that?
On Twitter especially. And I love it because his video, he'll just post videos in the morning and be like, all right, lads. And then you're like, oh my God, like, that was an awful impression. It's probably, if he sees it, I'm sorry. But, like, that's what he does. And I love it because so many people buzz off him. So I think he's a really good, like, you get a lot of influencers and you think, for fuck's sake, like, they're pushing this now, this product, whatever. He's like an influencer, but he I don't think he cares that he is. He's just
authentic.
genuinely,
It's
yeah.
just him.
You've got Love Island and haven't you, the lad with the six packs
That's it.
doing stuff like that, and then you've got Bootlegger in his builder's pants with like wrists
Literally.
and that, just a fag, looking like he's on his fifth hangover, doesn't he? No airbrush or out like that. And I think it's just
It's real life.
It's just
Yeah.
nice, isn't it? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, get in there, that guy's class. And
That's it, and he's got his own beer as well, and it's very nice. So
His own beer.
yeah, so he's got a beer with Wrexham Lager.
Oh, brilliant.
oh, yeah, he's
Just
always
shows,
promoting it
doesn't
now,
it? So
yeah.
he must have done well.
Because he still works, doesn't he? Like I feel
That's
like
the thing, he still works.
I feel like he could utilise, like you say, like they have these drinking bingo games that he
Yeah.
could be the host. I feel like he could definitely make money somewhere out of being just that popular, isn't he? But
Yeah, you're gonna have to get him.
Oh, well, sorry, I'll have to get him on. But trying to describe him to other people, like, what is the bootleg? And he's just
Yeah, well, you said to me, he just has a drink on Friday.
no, it's not just a Friday. Well, I'm he's in the caravan, he's in Cyprus, he's
That's
like,
it.
oh, Monday night lads, I like that. He's always like, oh, Tuesday
right.
football's on or something like that. His poor wife, she's sometimes in a few photos, isn't
Yeah.
she? And she does not look happy.
No,
to be
she
a
doesn't
part
want to
of-
be in the pictures, but
No.
it's great. He's just funny. It's so funny to follow, and I'm sure he calls doesn't he call the caravan like the villa or something?
Yeah,
as well?
I'm at the
He's just
villa
like-
again, lads, and he's just even like, you can see the mobile toilet in the background, can't you?
It's great. It's so funny. No, and I'm assuming that's where he got famous from, was his YouTube videos from watching like Wrexham, because they're just mental. So that's what you see on like TikTok, is a lot of people have like copied them videos and made TikToks out of them.
Like, cut it into
Yeah,
another
basically.
video.
So no, it's just, he's class. You will have to follow. You have to make a Twitter just to follow him.
Yeah, yeah.
Why wasn't he on Wrexham, the programme? Like,
Oh,
he's
was
on
he?
this start,
No.
you seem like cheering. I thought, I hope he's on this, but he's not in it at
I
all,
was
is
a
he?
bit like, why isn't he on as well? Because I think he's put Wrexham on the map himself, like
Yeah.
obviously, with his videos and popularity and whatever. I don't know why.
Oh, and then Ryan Reynolds comes walking
That's
in
That's
and
it, yeah.
I was as excited to see the bootlegger as Ryan Reynolds on Wrexham. You know what I mean? Like, I obviously
Yeah.
want to see what they're going to be like in Wrexham, but I thought it's bootlegger. Because how good would it be for him and Ryan Reynolds to be in the same room?
It would
Two
be
completely
great, yeah.
like polar opposites, especially them jeans and manky jeans that he always has on.
well, they're like Wood James or something.
Oh yeah, they're just he's a builder or something like that, isn't he?
I think he's a roofer, yeah, that's what I've
something
heard.
like that. Because a lot of his photos just him having a fag on like building sites, isn't it? And like you say, that he's not airbrushing it.
No, it's great.
It's not airbrushing.
Well, I'm hoping-
I'm hoping for because they're going to do a second series, I think, of Welcome to Wrexham, so I'm hoping people will be like, where is he, and then they'll bring him for like the second one. That
Yeah.
would be good.
Would you not be in it?
I don't think they would touch me with a barge pole because of OnlyFans. They'd be like, nope. It's Disney, isn't it? So they probably all has to be strict.
We
and
had Tommy and
clean.
Pamela. I've not
Oh,
watched it,
yeah,
but I mean that
actually,
was
yeah.
on there, wasn't it? Tommy and
Yeah.
Pamela, like, and that's based on that video that
I don't think
made,
that.
Have you not
Actually.
watched the original?
No, but I just know because Pamela Anderson's fuming that they
yeah.
made a
Yeah,
sitcom
oh,
basically
yeah.
out of a released.
I'll say that.
I was going to say,
But
just get
film
tagged
this.
in. Oh yeah. Get some real Wrexham people on
Yeah,
there like
come
that.
on.
I just. But what did you think of it when you watched it? Were you proud of like the people on there? Because I thought they were hilarious. Some of the folk they had
Yeah, it was really good, and they had like one episode just about like Wales and history and stuff, didn't they? Because Wales is always overlooked, and like people always just like forget about Wales, and it's just like, oh, they've got like, what's the point of that language? Like, it's a dead language or whatever. And like people like me, like I speak it every day. It's my first language, so it's like incredibly offensive. Especially I've got like a Welsh name as well and stuff, and you think, for fuck's sake, so do I just not exist then? So the fact that they put so much effort into that and just spread awareness about like Welsh history, the language, it was like, oh my god, fair play. Like, and even though obviously they're helping Wrexham loads, but it's like you've just brought Wales like right out, and like you've really put them on the map now. Everyone knows about Wales, and
Well, people come on holiday to Wrexham now, don't you?
It is
People like getting
mental.
tagged in,
I
like,
think,
oh, this
yeah.
is where. Oh, yeah, everyone comes to Wrexham. Like
wow.
Americans, don't they? Because they watch the program. So if you're in
Yeah.
England, Wrexham's become one of them. Like you go to London, but you
You're
go to
saying there's,
Wrexham on the
there's a lot of nice beaches as well, isn't there?
yeah,
around here
on
and
the
stuff
coast,
like
yeah.
that,
Yeah, there is. So it is really good, and it is crazy because there's a lot of like, especially like Canadians and stuff, and you hear all these accents when you go to the pub before the game. And you're like, oh my god, where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? And it's like, oh wow, you've come all the way to Wrexham. And it's like, It is mental.
Whereas before it was just the faces.
Yeah.
As well, watching
That's
a
it.
certain bootlegger. Holding court.
Where do you think they can go with the football? Is it one of them that you've been going for years, or is it just since it got popular?
Since it got popular.
I was just going to say, like, just for the OnlyFans, like, oh yeah, I love football, foosball, I love that. Yeah.
Oh no,
Kick it in the neck,
like,
don't they?
since I was like young, all of our family holidays was like watching Wales play. So like, it was quite funny. But like, so my dad would be, oh, this year why don't we go to Cyprus? And then we'd find out it's because Wales are playing like a friendly in Cyprus or something. So it was always like that. But we'd go, and it's just been a part of my life. And then when I was like, I don't remember what age, I started thinking like, oh, I hadn't gone for years with my family because everyone, you know, stop going on a holiday with your family, don't you, at some point, because you're too cool for that and all, whatever. And I was like, oh, I miss it. Like, I miss the buzz of it and stuff. So I was like, I'm just going to start going by myself, like a proper sado. And then I started meeting people at the Wales matches. And then obviously when that had ended, I was like speaking to like my mum and dad, and I was saying, I miss it. Like, what do you do in between? And my dad was like, well, Wrexham's down the road. Just go there. Like, you've literally got the same thing down the road. So I was like, oh, go on then. And started putting on Twitter, like, I want to go. And one man called Lee, he was like, I'll take you.
Lee what?
Lee Chambo.
Oh, this is just taking you to a match, isn't it?
Yeah.
Caught someone out.
No, he was like, oh, no, I'll go. Like, you can, like, I think he had a spare, I don't know if he had a spare season ticket or something that night. He was like, you come with me. And I was like, all right, sound, because I was a bit scared of going by myself. And then I did start going by myself, and then one of my friends, Ashley, she was like, oh, can I start coming with you? I was like, yeah. So it's great.
It as well,
yeah, it's mint.
Yeah.
It's really good. Like, I never thought I would, but I kind of prefer it to the Wales matches now. It's like...
Anything live's good, isn't it?
It is
With darts,
mental,
football,
yeah.
rugby.
Music,
especially if you have a few
music when
drinks
you're in
and
the pub.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. You
It's
just
the
get
drinks
behind
as
it,
well.
don't you? You're like, oh my God, this is great. And
Yeah.
Definitely.
But watching on telly isn't the same. Like you say, that
No.
match is great. You go back and like show them the highlights. You're like, oh, it looks terrible from there. But live, after
Just the
about 9
atmosphere,
pints,
isn't it? And
Yeah.
having a crack and, like you say, having a drink. And
That's it, yeah.
Would you ever go out with anyone from OnlyFans? That's all the people message you in the back of their mind. They're thinking, laying the groundwork here. Oh, what you been doing today? And in their mind, they're probably
How's your day
thinking.
yeah, is there any, yeah, I suppose, yeah.
There's no difference between them on
you see and you think,
OnlyFans than anything
Yeah,
else, is there really?
it
Like,
looks
it's,
alright.
it's
No, I have, like, before now, like, I've spoke to someone and they've been like, oh, funnily enough, like, I used to subscribe or something. I'm like, oh, no way. So it's kind of happened like that. I've not directly done it from OnlyFans, but I have been from, like, before people said, like, oh, I was subscribed. So I'd be open to it, because fair enough, they clearly want to see me, so
Oh,
they paid to see
yeah,
me, like,
yeah.
I'm fine with that.
You'd
But,
have the
yeah.
upper hand in that relationship, though, wouldn't you? Like, saying, no,
yeah,
you used to pay,
I'll
like...
cancel your
Ah, yeah.
subscription.
But then you just have like arguments like, who else you subscribe to and stuff like that. And then you'd be checking the bank statements like that, £12 wasn't mine, so whose was it and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
So.
it would work that way as well, wouldn't it? Every time he's going upstairs,
An
you're doing
addiction.
it upstairs, are you?
yeah. You're going upstairs to do something. I don't know. Yeah, different. Yeah, he's right on the laptop. Yeah.
But that's the thing with jealousy, though. Like, I can imagine the lads will be all right at the start, but after a while, when they start getting feelings, like, who are you messaging there? And
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is Brian. He always messages on a Tuesday. Like, tell Brian, fuck off, creep.
Yeah,
Or
we're
something
always
like,
called Brian a bit.
oh, what's that?
Not another Brian.
How long do you think you'll do it for? Because, like you said, there's a niche for everything. You could do it now. Then I'm not saying like grandmas, but
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine there's someone who wants grandmas. So you just go right through the
That's
ages. Isn't there?
it.
So, like, is there like a time limit where you think, oh, I'll probably do it then, or you're just going to keep doing it to enjoy it? Or
It is weird because when I started, I didn't really have a plan of how long I'd do it for. So even now, I'm like, I had the whole. I always have a panic when it's my birthday. So when I was 25 last year, I was like, shit, I'm 25, so I'm like old now. Like, picture wise and stuff, like, you don't really think of me as like a young girl anymore. You're not a young girl, young woman. So I was like, shit, am I gonna struggle on like OnlyFans now? And then I started to think, hang on a minute, I could be a gilf, I could be a milf,
yeah.
I could just be wrinkly, I could be you can do anything
Just
now.
level up.
That's it. Because I thought, oh, if I have kids, then like I would have to stop. Then, but you can be pregnant on it. There's apparently a fetish for that. So no, I think I would. I think it's like, I don't know, because I feel like I'm always on borrowed time in a way, because I didn't expect it to go so well. So every every month, every year that I'm doing it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so lucky that I've managed to keep it for another year and
If
live.
you're making a living from it as well, though, it doesn't make
That's
sense
it.
to, and you're happy enough doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, until I do want to have like other incomes coming in, like I'd like to flip houses, that's like the goal. So until I can do that, it's like full time, I think I'll carry this on. But
We just need that pot of money for your first one, don't you?
That's
and then,
it.
Like, do it
That
that
is
way
it.
and stuff like that. Because we had a lass on, and she did like obviously adult stuff, and we couldn't get over that how little she was getting paid. Like she done that fake taxi,
yeah.
500 quid, and like I was like £500. I was expecting like life changing money and stuff like that. I think you're better doing what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like keep it that way. As like to get in there for 500 quid, it's like Jesus, that's. You'll have a cut-off point, do you, where you think this is what I'm going to do, and then I'm not going to.
What people are
That's
asking
it.
Yeah,
for.
because people will ask you to do anything
Oh
more
God,
than.
they do.
Is there anything that they've asked for you've been uncomfortable and you've had to say?
Like
Oh,
stuff
I'm not
like,
doing that.
obviously when I'll do some like one-to-one messaging and stuff, and they're like, oh, can you pretend that you're my sister, and can you pretend that you're younger? You're like that's fucking wrong. Like, no, I'm not doing that. So it's good to know to say no, because money obviously can.
Yeah, that'll drive
money can
people,
persuade you to do a lot of things. So I think that's why if I was like advising anyone, I'd be like, you need to start low and then build it up if you want to build it up, because people offer like now like well, you do this like sex tape, you do this, do that. I'm like, oh, I don't do that, sorry. So it's just knowing to do that. But
Especially with your degree in law, because
Yeah.
you can go into that anytime, can't you? What you're doing now, it's not taboo at all, is it really? But I think if you go to that next level, it's a bit more
that's it. That's
thing,
what,
isn't it?
yeah.
It's just one of them.
It's a harder conversation, isn't it, with your mum and dad anyway?
Oh God, yeah. And then it's kind of like you think of the collateral damage. Like,
Yeah.
if you wanted to go into anything professional, like, at least I can kind of like rein the glamour model stuff in and be
Yeah.
like, oh, I did that for a bit, but now I'm whatever. But if you do, the more you put out there, harder it is to get like back, really. But
Like you say, OnlyFans.
OnlyFans
We've
is
touched on it a
nothing,
couple
though,
of
is
times,
it?
haven't we? But there's stigma with it. I don't think there is one for normal people. I think it's just people who are a bit. Yeah.
A lot of people do
just
big
don't
jobs
see
and
it.
that now, don't
Well,
they?
that's what I was
There's
gonna
someone
say.
up our end that'd start doing it, but it was
Just
big
people
news
just-
where our end,
Yeah.
and you're like, just want extra money.
People
It's like,
just
she's
do
doing
it
it, and you're
day to
like,
day on Facebook without knowing they're doing it, or probably do know they're doing it, but not getting paid.
That's
you know,
it,
there's,
yeah.
there's people in relationships, and they're like, "Have you seen such?" And they're putting pictures on, and you think, not that I would. Somebody might be for them. You know what I mean?
no, well, it's one of them. You might as well get paid for it, because bikini photos, like if you go on Instagram, I don't
that's
go on
the point,
Instagram,
isn't
but
it?
I mean, a lot of the photos, they're not much different, are they, really,
No.
these days? And especially celebs like them lot on Love Island and that, the photos they're banging on now, you're like, they should just do that as an OnlyFans. Well, I think a lot of them do, though, don't they?
Yeah.
Come out of Love Island.
Just
and do that.
content, isn't it? If there's content that somebody wants to buy, it's just a product.
Would you ever go on that, Love Island?
I think I don't know. I'm quite shit when it comes to dating and stuff like that. So you just see, I think I just embarrass myself more than anything. I would be like that Will. He's just there for a holiday, really, isn't he?
Is he the
He's
farmer guy?
Yeah.
I don't watch it, but I see like memes saying
That's
just
what I've seen.
focus on Will, and I don't think he's bothered about getting a
Is
girlfriend.
he
He's just sunbathing.
normal
I
as
think
well?
he's normal, isn't
Yeah.
he?
I can imagine a lot of them. I've never watched the same crap, but I can imagine a lot of them just playing a part. They're
Oh,
on
yeah.
TV. They're wanting to get on. They want to do well in it. It's like you were saying before. Just be authentic. Just be
That's
how
it.
you are.
Yeah,
Because you're on Young Wells in Boston, wasn't it?
yeah.
But that obviously that's different. But would you be open to doing a bit of the TV stuff and things like
Yeah,
that?
I think I would. I like that because it was kind of like an alternative thing, being like, oh yeah, like this is how you're making money. Because by now, everyone's doing OnlyFans, but I couldn't tell you like the name of like 10 people around me that does it. It's still quite rare-ish
Yeah.
in Wales, whereas in like Manchester or London or like in a city like that, you just wouldn't think twice. You wouldn't be asked, would you, if someone said they were doing OnlyFans? So it was good doing that. I would like to do more. It's hard because I know a lot of people won't touch me because of OnlyFans still, like companies and stuff. There's still some stigma like that, which is annoying. It's getting better, but yeah, it's...
Do you do any glamour and modelling? We were saying on the way down, because when we were growing up, there was things like Nuts Magazine, FHM was that, and that sort of went away. I think OnlyFans has replaced that. But
that
like,
is-
it's
Yeah.
sort of like, so there's a need for like
Yeah.
younger lads, 16 to 22, to like interact and things like that. That's just replaced it, hasn't it?
Yeah, basically.
Sort of thing.
Yeah, because if they were still around, like I would have loved to do something like that, but I don't know, like sometimes it's hard. What I like about my content is like it's me that's in control, because before now I've done photo shoots for like other people and they pick the pictures that they like, and like I remember one photographer come up to me and was like, oh, I'd love to do like a plus size shoot with you. I thought, well, at the time I was like skinnier than I was now. I was like, I'm size 8. And I was like, you're saying I'm plus size? So I was like, fuck's sake. And
That's
then
mental, eh?
it was horrible. And like someone else, like I've got a scar there and it's from a mole being removed, so it's like that big. And I remember someone coming up to me and like, oh, I'll have to remove that. I think, fuck, like, oh my God, like it's still not good enough. So I would like to do stuff like but it's just that kind of bitchiness.
Well, our vision of like camera guys, not this camera guy, but like ones that are doing like the glamour model shoots and stuff like that. Just like, are the normal people, or because I just like, oh, come on, sweetheart, like, you know, it's like, oh, like, come on, sweetie, I'll make you fit like that. I don't know why, just in your head you've just got
run
like,
off.
Is it? Are they that type, or is there certain ones that are like? I can imagine like all the lads are like, don't work with creepy Brian. I'll just keep using Brian, so I'm not upset number 4. Don't work with him because he's a bit of an oddball.
Did they grow up like we were talking about before? Want to be an astronaut or want to be a glamour model, photographer, or are they just really? Yeah, are they just creepy guys sometimes?
Well, Jeffrey Dahmer, that's how he was getting the lads back, wasn't he? He's pretending to be a photographer.
Yeah.
Like,
that's right.
I'll come and take some. I'm not saying every photographer's Jeffrey Dahmer, but you know what I mean? Like,
I get you.
You can imagine like a few lads will maybe just use it like, oh, I'll give you 500 quid, but they're just wanting to take some creepy photos. You know what I mean? Out here
because it was like websites before this was even before I started OnlyFans, that you could advertise, like, because I used to do beauty pageants and stuff as well. So I used to do like fashion photo shoots and whatever, like just small stuff, nothing big, and you'd advertise that you'd be willing to work, and then people could hire you, or you could do like trade for time and stuff. And like some photo shoots I'd turn up and I'd be like, oh my God, and then I'd think that you've got like 20 like, well, not 20, more like 100 pictures of me on your camera now, and you know, it was like sometimes it would be creepy. So I'd be like, I'm not working with him, no, I'm not doing that again. It was some were fucking odd. Like I remember one was proper weird, and I was like really young, and he was like, I said I was only doing fashion, so I was really like covered, like covered in clothing, normal clothing, and he was like, oh, like you can get changed in this changing room. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And there was like, I'm not even joking, like loads of bondage shit.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 2 eye holes or something.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. But there was like all that kind of stuff. And he's like, if you want to put anything on from the room for the next pictures, like you can. And I was thinking, oh my God, get me out of here. Like, fuck's sake, get me out of here. So there's loads of times that's happened. So now I'll only work with like, there's like 2 or 3 photographers that I know are normal and are good guys.
Comfortable with them.
And it's shit, because like obviously you're putting yourself. I put myself in a lot of dangerous situations.
What's that mean? Did you go with anyone or not like that? Because at least one of them, like, I bet your dad would be worried, wouldn't he, if they knew I'm just going to meet this creepy guy that's messages online.
You'd feel vulnerable even as a fella, wouldn't you? Like you're thinking, I would feel vulnerable doing that.
It was like sometimes I'd have like my mum and my sister with me. But like, obviously at one point I was like, oh, I'm independent, I can go. And then obviously that happened. I was like, I'm never doing it again. Oh my God, this man was so weird. So yeah, it was. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy because some of these websites, people aren't really verified either, I don't think.
Well, that's what I mean. You can set a website up for 25 quid on thing, can't you? Put some pictures on, professional photographer.
Yeah.
You just be the biggest creep ever.
Oh, yeah.
And just setting up your house to be like a booth, couldn't you?
If you just want to come this way into the dungeon, that would be great. Yeah, get yourself comfortable. You're going to be there a while.
Has your sister never fancied doing it?
Probably shouldn't say stuff like that. Sorry, you'll be like going to the next, like a next shoot, thinking,
have you got dungeon?
Yeah.
My sister, funnily enough, right, my sister is, I've always said she's like a supermodel. She's blonde, she's super skinny, like naturally, what a bitch, but she's super skinny, she's tall as well. She's got all the features, and she's got like, we always take the piss because we say she's beautiful, but she's like uniquely beautiful. But she's like, you know, like Gigi Hadid and all them. They've got a unique look,
runway models.
So she looks like that. So I've always said, you know what, you like, even last night I was saying you could have been a famous influencer. You could have done this for us all, but she just doesn't. She's not asked. She doesn't want to do it.
Does she do a normal 9 to 5?
Oh yeah. She's just got a new job and she's been to uni and stuff. She's just. It's funny because like I'm just looking and I think, oh my God, I know so many girls, if they look like you, they'd be like, you know, gagging for it, like doing one in PLT, like all these brand deals and stuff. post on Instagram every 2 minutes. She's the complete opposite. She's like hardly ever posts on Instagram. She doesn't have all the social media. She's just not asked.
But everyone, that's the thing, isn't
Ah,
it?
it's-
Everyone's different.
Yeah.
Maybe she's got the look, she could do it. She could do well from it. But one, she doesn't want to, and even if she did, she maybe wouldn't have the drive as well to do it. So
No. So it's nice as well, because I always think like, obviously social media these days, that's all you see is usually people wanting to be influencers and wanting to be that. So I think she's younger as well. So it's quite refreshing when she was like, oh no, it's not for me.
Would you ever sell anything on? Because they do that on Instagram and that now. You got to say like paid partnership, haven't you, and stuff like that. Have you ever been offered to like sell something or?
I get free stuff like clothing, like Wales related, which I'm all for, because I'm always like, yeah, come on Wales, woo. I've had like teeth whitening stuff before, but you
They
do
all
have to
do
put-
that.
can you get me some?
but you do
Please.
have to put like that. Obviously, it's like
Paid partnership, yeah.
which is like, oh, I don't mind doing that, but it's kind of like some people message me like, oh, can you promote this, and can you once you do one, and they're like, oh, will you do this, will you do that, and my friend's like, you need to start charging people.
Yeah.
And I do, but then I feel dead tight.
Well, it's affiliate
Like,
marketing. We were talking about this, weren't we, on the way down? So you could do it with brands.
Yeah.
But I imagine there'll be people locally who'll be like, yeah, John's got the tyre garage or something over the road. And
Yeah.
it's like, if
It's
I
gotta
give you a tenner, do you mind just plugging
Got to
the
fit in with what
tyres?
you're doing as well, isn't it?
That's
We do a
it.
lot of the shows with
Yeah.
like the sportsmen and that, and they'll get offered money, but it's weird to put in pucker pies if you're like a bodybuilder or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, pucker pies. And
Yeah.
they just aren't fitting in them videos. I don't.
No,
It's
that's
like
it,
your
yeah.
content would be like trying to look great and stuff like that, and you're like, oh, Domino's pizza crust or something like that. It just looks weird.
Yeah,
doesn't
then
it?
people will be like, what the fuck? Like, I followed you because you're half naked. Like, it doesn't, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't fit in. So.
Selling shawls or something like that. This shawl's brilliant, can't see
So
it.
great, yeah.
That kind of thing, like, yeah.
That's
Fantastic.
it. Yeah, that's it. Honestly. So, yeah. It would be good, but I don't know if it'd work for me.
Have you, before we finish, have you had any famous DMs off anyone?
I've had some.
Ryan Reynolds,
can you
Robert
tell us
McElroy.
I wish.
I was going to say Bootleg is married. I'm trying to think of other Wrexham legends. Is it footballers?
Rugby players.
So, no,
We're
I've
in
not had
Wales.
rugby players, no. Some football players. Who else have I had? I've had someone really well known, like years ago. Years and years ago. Oh, how would I describe him without dropping who it is?
Snooker player?
No, not
Scored a good
Scotland.
goal against Arsenal once.
No, what did he do? He was on
Actor or sportsman?
Oh, no, it was like what would you say? An actor, yeah. He was on like, he works for like, oh, I don't know if I can say.
Welsh.
Like, no.
Doesn't
Well,
narrow
we'll
it
just
down.
leave, he's a famous actor, but I had nothing come of it. So obviously, because I'm still single. But
Right.
it's more like weird DMs I get, like dick pics all the time.
I was going to say,
Expect-
what do they hope when they send that? Are they hoping you're
I
going to be like,
don't know.
whoa, this guy's the one? You know, like message you one back saying,
Yeah.
let me see the face because this
All-
looks great. Or
But
Yeah,
then,
yeah, come through them like that.
yeah. Imagine though if like I responded and I was like, hang on, and then I took a picture and I sent it back. What would they do then? Like they'd be like, what the fuck? So it's like,
imagine if you got married. How did you meet? Oh, it's a lovely story. He actually
Romantic.
sent me a picture of down there. And
Flicking through these.
just love at first sight. As soon as I
That's
seen
it.
it, I just thought, yeah, we'll get married.
The first 10 out of 10 I gave that day. Yeah, it's like fantastic.
literally. But no, it's stuff like that, or like people like I've been getting.
Has
people
anyone been
going-
aggressive or like threatening or?
Oh, just like the usual stuff like, oh, you're a slag and whatever. You know, that's thing. But people recently, I'm getting like this whole mummy thing, like this fetish, I think. Like people message saying like, oh, will you be my mommy? And will you be my mum? And I'm like, that's so fucking weird. I'm like, is it because I
what do
look
they
older?
want you to do?
I
Like
don't
ground
know,
them or something?
breastfeed them? I don't know. I don't fucking know.
God.
No, I don't know. This is the thing, and I get it a lot. And I'm like trying to delete some of the comments because I think it's odd. But yeah, that's my recent. Or like, oh, someone messaged me and was like, "Are you a man? Are you? When did you? What did you say? Yeah, when did you transition, or are you still a man?" And I was like, "Right, cheers, thanks, thanks." Yeah,
Dead offended.
honestly, I get all so is
Dead offended from. Yeah, I'm not going to say the weirdo or the arse. I thought he was
It's like,
messaging that as
that's
well,
it.
yeah.
And then one, he kept messaging. Like I've noticed he messages a lot on different platforms, and I keep having to block him.
Shame.
And it's like, well, stop asking me if I'll eat a live fish. He wants me to eat a live fish, like a goldfish, like and record it.
Oh, that's a good
Fucking
one.
weird. It's odd.
How much is he like? Did he
How
offer
much
the
would it
money?
cost?
No,
Ash?
it's just because as soon as you say it, I'm like, I've already said no to this. Block. I've already said no.
You couldn't put a price on it. Like I'm thinking,
Why
how
would
much
everyone
would
not do
something
that?
like-
Well, it's weird because online and that now, some people like you always think they're going to hide their identity, but you'll see like I always say about Lasso. She's on this morning. Susanna, she's on with Piers Morgan. It's like an oldish
Oh
woman.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She put like a picture on, and there's a lad we know who commented saying, "If you farted, I'd wind the windows up." And I thought, like you've got
It's a
your
bit
name
like
on
the, it's a
there,
bit
you
like
know,
the bullying and
Yeah, you just-
lads
yeah.
offering each other out online. It's that online. Yeah, you're a different person. You rock hard when I say you in real life.
just sat there
Yeah.
with his
You
full
shit
family
yourself.
like that, and you're like, you're commenting that with your full
But
family.
even
as a
the
profile
creepiness
picture.
is creeping
Yeah.
in, isn't it? Because you have that different persona where you can, want to sit in a car with someone's fart lingering rather than being
Yeah,
like,
that's grim.
"No, I thought you were quite normal."
Yeah.
you know.
But that's it. It is crazy. I've got so much
which other
rants
ones?
with that. Oh, what?
The fish, that's a good
The
one.
fish, yeah. But then I always think like, imagine if I did it, I'd have to buy the fish. Then I'd tell my accountant like I need to claim for this fish, and she's gonna be like, why? And then next minute I'll be arrested. But no.
That's good. Yeah, put it in your tax.
Yeah, but then imagine HMRC investigates me. What was this about? I'm like, funny story. Do you want to see the video? So
You
no.
haven't even bought a fish. We can see no fish anywhere.
Well, I'll tell you where it is.
Mum and Dad are just watching telly and you're walking past. Don't ask. Like I'm walking upstairs, goldfish in a bag.
Yeah, stuff like that. And then it's what do you call it? I've seen a lot of things, like people have sent me videos before, and this is right, actually I'll tell you, it is disgusting though, you might have to cut it out, but he'd like obviously was doing something to himself, and then he finished in a shot glass, and then he shot at it. He did. When he sent him, I was gagged. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And what he just sent you that?
Yeah.
Again, it's messed up what they're hoping for, isn't it?
That's what I don't
know
what
the angle.
I don't know if that's trying to impress you or
Yeah.
like.
I wonder if she's oddballs. That's the thing.
That's what I mean. And then like before now, I've sold like stuff, like clothes and whatever, not clothes, like knickers and socks and whatever. And then people will send me pictures, and when they first said like, do you want to see it? I'm like, I don't want to fucking see it. I don't know what's happened to it. Like that, whatever. I don't need that in my mind. And then people are like, send me now, and they're wearing them. They're wearing like lads. Like knickers or like socks, and that's me.
At least you don't have to save on washing. Sounds like you only wear stuff once.
That's it.
Mum's not washed clothes in 5 years.
But then I'm like, why? I don't know. So why like thongs and stuff as well that I've posted to them, and then they're wearing them.
It's like a different world. Like, you're always fascinated, like anything like that. It's just because we're not in that world. So like when we said, have you got any wee mess? You're sort of expecting like, you've got boobs. But then you get into it like it's far darker than what we thought. Do you know what I mean?
It's fucking extreme. Like one lad, I remember I was like telling my mate that he'd messaged me. He was gorgeous. He was stunning. If his profile was real, I was like, oh my god, he's messaging. We'd been messaging for a bit, and then he was like, are you like into like, are you open minded or whatever? And I was like, where's this going? He was like, would you be alright with my dog joining in? And I was like, what? I don't even know yet. So I was like, I thought you were this fit lad that we were like gonna get on really well. 3, you've just asked him for a shagging dog.
What kind of dog?
Don't
No,
even
not
remember.
going to detail.
And then my mate was like, I remember I'd like gone to my mate and I was like, Beth, like, I was so in love with this lad. He looked gorgeous on his profile, and she was like, don't worry. Like, she's having to console me because I was so like, he's just asked if I'll shag his dog.
Keith Lard.
Should have set him up with one of your mates. Yeah, he's nice.
He's nice and normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's
They're
getting
brilliant.
weirder.
It definitely is getting weird, isn't it? I think it's maybe just because you find out about it more now, like it's
Yeah.
on screenshots and stuff like that. But it definitely feels like it's gone up.
It's just extreme again. Society we're talking about. It's a different age. It's just a totally different age from previous generations with technology and everything else. And now, everything's just getting that more extreme to get that thrill or to get that laugh.
Well, I think
or
with lads and
whatever
that,
it
you're
is.
creating different lads because when we were younger, to get a girl, you had to talk to them in person. Whereas now,
that
was always the hardest thing, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, do you want to drink? Like, they're nervous now. Well, lads don't have that now, so it makes them more confident, I think, just to ask, because on a night out, you get blown out 3 or 4 times. You want to go and hide in the cellar. Do you know what I mean? These lads aren't getting that. Like, oh, just copy and paste this to 300 different people.
It was dancing near lasses, wasn't it? Weird thing, you know. If you're a shit dancer, you had no chance or out. Like, how did you meet people? Like when we were first going out, it was like, knock your mobile phones. Like, what are you going to do? So,
text backy.
Yeah. I've got no like credit left, so you can't even text.
Could only go out with someone that was on O2 because it was free text. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't go. It's team mobile.
And now, like you say, it would be so easy. Yeah.
Oh, it's brutal. Like, even now, if you don't reply to people, like if I message someone and like a lad and they didn't reply to me, I'd be like that, but oh fuck's sake, like, gutted, whatever. But now I get people, like, if I read it or whatever, or don't reply, like, okay then, didn't want to talk to you anyway, you're fat anyway, or you're ugly anyway. And you think, fuck's sake, like, jeez. People, they are ruthless, so.
Did they still pay for that, though?
Oh, no, this is like Instagram. This is free. They give me shit for free.
Right.
I was going to say, because you've got Tinder, Instagram, it must be just all night. Just do it.
Honestly. And then there's these, like, companies now that have come out of nowhere. They're like, oh, we'll manage your OnlyFans for you. I'm like, I've worked this for, like, 4 years. Like, I'm not just... Because you'd have to give your password and everything over. And you're like, all you'd have to do is just change the banking and, like, just withdraw the money yourself. And I honestly, I get, like, 5 messages a day now from these proper fake-looking businesses. So I think this is going to be the next scam that people are like, oh, I'll, like, you know, because they say we can top up your income by like 2,000 to 3,000 a month. It's really ridiculous. Like, every message is stating something different. So I think that'll be like the next thing.
Yeah.
Well, I always say my mistake. I think you could manage it from a man's point of view. I think you could definitely, and I always think niche, like you were saying, like the gamers. You would have Wrexham top on all Wrexham fans. Oh, that's and I think that's the way to do it, isn't it? Make it niche, and the more popular you are, YouTube, TikTok, everything like that, more popular your OnlyFans, isn't it? So it's more just. I think just the more you got out there doing TV, YouTube, and stuff like TikToks and things like that. All that works. And I seen it come up, and it was just a woman pushing against the top, and the top like. But it stops before, and it had like 2 million views.
It's crazy.
And it was just weird, and I thought, you're trying to put well-crafted jokes together, no one's watching it, and then you're like, a lass just tensed in a T-shirt, it's got like 2 million views, you think, I just don't get it, but I definitely, like, if the company was legit, which there won't be, but I definitely think, like, a man's point of view, sometimes you'd be like, oh, you do this, do that.
There's another business for you there.
Oh, I bet my wife would be absolutely ecstatic. I'm not going to do the shows
I've got
anymore.
another meeting on.
Bloody work today. Oh, like a quick way of getting divorced. That's it.
At least you'd have to deal with like dick pics, and so you could do the dick rates and stuff like that.
If I was hungover,
Would you
I'd
like
just smash me phone. Sorry, I'm not doing this anymore like that.
It makes you think about setting one up, though. Is it? You're not thinking about setting one up?
What for?
Like an OnlyFans? No, but like I'm thinking about a fake. Alana will probably watch this. I'm thinking about a fake.
Yeah.
How easy it would be to fake. I was thinking
my
of like
God,
when we were saying about catfishing earlier. Like, you could literally catfish now, but you're charging people as well and
No,
subscribing.
but you're putting that many photos. You're
content.
not putting like you'd have to have loads of photos and that, wouldn't you? And
But
you'd
you
have to
could.
have
Yeah,
the-
again, you could.
This is a whole new thing.
People
like,
must do that, do they?
Oh yeah, this week have you heard of like deep fake porn and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So that I think is going to be like the next thing that people just do that of people.
What is deep fake? Because I seen the guy was crying because he's watched deep fake.
Oh,
and
that's
some
him,
influencer
yeah.
I had
something.
seen, yeah.
So
yeah.
it's him that's like stirred it all up this week. So basically they just take, so you'd put a picture up of you on Facebook, and then someone, I think they basically like get your face and put it on like a porn star's body,
Right.
but it's really well done, like really well done. So you're in this, like, you could be in this proper extreme like sex scene or whatever, but people would think it's you because it's so realistic. So it's
scary.
It is
Well,
crazy.
there was an app doing it with like Braveheart scenes, putting your face on Braveheart and stuff like that. I don't know if you've seen it.
Similar, isn't it?
Yeah.
But obviously, it'll go to that level now. You wouldn't even tell the difference, would you?
Oh
It'd
no,
just
you
be-
won't. So that's gonna be like, I think that's gonna be the new shitstorm.
Because that's it. People could use that if they didn't want to. Yeah.
Well, you could
Yeah,
stitch someone up.
they're
couldn't
not
you?
actually doing it. They're just it's
Oh, yeah.
edited, but they're selling it.
Oh
and-
god, yeah.
Yeah.
Like people do all sorts. Like I've heard of people before that will go on like Pornhub, and I've not done this, and like sell the sex scene and be like, oh yeah, this is me, and then they just put like their face on, and you're like, what the fuck? But they get
Oh,
away
and it's
with it.
not them?
Yeah, it's not them. They
yeah.
just sell like another video, and they're like, oh yeah, this is me, because there's so many faceless stuff out there as well. Like anyone could be on OnlyFans. Like It's crazy.
I do it in my stand-up about the adult. Like when we were younger, there was like one magazine between the whole like rugby team. Do you know what I mean? Whereas now, like saying like there's categories on there, you don't even know what they are. Yeah. Like I'm not a prude or like that, but it's just like I do it like the stand-up, but saying like there's one for women.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know normal adult stuff wasn't for women, and then like clicked on it, and basically it was their guy hoovering, clean, and doing the dishwasher and stuff like that. Because I just don't think women are as bothered about it. But the thing they need to get rid of on there is the comments, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I just don't get who's commenting on that, and who's like the worst ones are the ones that are comment saying. Like she's in like a real bad scene or something. Yeah. I think she's got really nice eyes. And you're like, are you hoping she's reading this? Do you know what I mean? Like, are you hoping she's going to like contact you and go, you're the one?
Like trying to plant the seed. It was really nice when I was in that.
You're not like the rest of them guys. Like, I'm going to message you. You know what I mean? They're the worst ones. I'd rather it just creeps.
She's a shining light in the industry. Yeah. Like that, you know, you're like
her hair is glowing. And that's it. You know,
sound like we know too much.
Oh no, that's bad.
But, no, we've taken up enough of your time, Law, and cheers for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me. Yeah.
No, it's been great.
It's been great.
Thank you.
He's never been to Wales, so he's been on holiday at Wales, haven't you? So,
nice cream. Kiss me quick hat.
Yeah. Going to go to Wrexham, have a look at the town. And
send Alana a postcard, see if I beat it home.
Have a bootlegger beer, Wrexham Lager.
Oh, what's bootleggers called? What's it called?
Bootlegger.
So is it actually called bootlegger?
Yeah, Wrexham Lager sell it. So you can have it anywhere. But yeah.
I wonder if they've got it in there.
Probably.
Yeah, driving back.
Anyways, cheers for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.